Show and Tell Boston After Dark. I am here with my co-host,
Cordelia Moy, who's that girl from Roxbury?
and I'm here with our special guest. Can you guys introduce yourselves?
Mikey Dzzz, PH Mass.
Johnny Rick.
So, can you guys just tell me about yourself?
Yeah, for sure. So we are some artists, out of Pinehurst, Billerica, Mass. We make hip hop, R&B, different kinds of kind of experimental type of music. I produce a lot of the beats, like almost all the beats. I direct the videos. We do a lot of things. I don't
So
know.
you just like a one-stop shop like type of dude?
Yeah. I promote. I'm a promoter as well too, so I actually throw shows too.
Oh,
we had
nice.
our most recent show at the Jungle in Somerville. Had a bunch of dope artists out there, just like coming and chilling and doing their thing.
I was gonna ask too. I was like, does Pinehurst have a scene, or do you just generally come out here?
So Pinehurst itself doesn't have a scene, I don't think. But there are a couple of people from Billerica that are like rapping and doing some stuff. Like, I don't know.
11. He's from
Oh yeah,
Billerica.
11. Yeah. Il Supreme. They're pretty dope.
Berserk, yeah. he's
Zerk,
from
all
there.
them, yeah. That's like some more like old school type hip hop stuff. But they're from Billerica. I just seen an old cat from like down the street, our homie Gigi. I seen him do some stuff with No Jumper recently, so
Oh, that's
nice.
something's happening.
That
Yeah,
GG was
that
on
is
No
happening.
Jumper?
That's Adam 72?
Adam 22.
Adam
Yeah.
72.
72?
Sorry, Adam.
Yeah.
Adam 22.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, when he upgrades, he'll be 76.
Yeah, I just seen something like that. I haven't talked to him in a long time, but I mean, shouts out to him and congratulations on that. But
Shout out to all the podcasters out there doing your thing. Shout out to all y'all podcasters. You know who you are.
for sure.
And you guys are, well, it's two of you, so you guys are one half of the whole collective.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we
for
got like a 4-person collective that we would say that they're official members. It's myself, Mikey Dzzz, Johnny Rick, Stevie Cash, the kid, and MC Kim. And they couldn't make it today, but we're gonna do our thing and keep it pushing.
Can you guys talk about that collective though?
Yeah, for sure. So Phi. We got the the merch and all that. That's pH Imbalance. I mean, it stands for a lot of things, and it's basically we never really wanted to call ourselves a group, because groups are. I mean, I feel like groups are a little too formulated. And as like a collective, it really gets to illuminate the fact that we're all individual artists and we all make our own individual things, and we contribute in ways that is kind of like on some. I don't know. It's on some different kind of stuff. Like, but Phi as an ideal, it comes from the it comes from like the mathematical term phi or phi, which basically is an equivalent in nature and in art to growth. So like if you look up like the golden ratio and things like that, it kind of like depicts this mathematical equation based on the Fibonacci sequence, which has to do with like the reason
I didn't
that
go to
flowers
college.
bloom and
I didn't
things
go to
like that.
college. I didn't go to college. I don't know what that means.
So like I'm not like a math guy really, but I mean just as far as I know, like so phi is like it's like a numerical symbol that stands for the growth of things. Like
Okay.
when you see the patterns in flowers, how they bloom in a kind of like that spiral fashion. It starts from 1 and then it turns to 3 and then it turns to 5. That's the Fibonacci sequence.
Okay.
1, 3, 5. It adds from the numbers before 1, 2, and then it's like 3, 5, something like that.
Oh, that pattern.
Yeah, that pattern. So and then that the golden ratio has to do with like an aesthetic beauty of things and kind of like a balance of things.
Oh, okay.
And so that's why we are pH imbalance. So it's kind of a lot of things where it's like, pH levels also, like an imbalance of pH levels
You be smelling.
are deadly.
Yeah. Oh, you
Yeah,
smell.
I
You
mean, it gives
smell really
women
bad.
yeast infections.
Oh no! yeah, exactly. Yeah,
It's real.
yeah.
You
that,
smell.
yeah.
Sorry.
I mean,
yeah.
for ladies, yeah.
Yeah, you
and
gotta keep that
sucks.
pH right.
Yeah,
You better do it. You better learn about it.
That's true. But also, like too acidic or too basey in any chemical compound is deadly
Right,
to
right,
a human being
Yeah.
or to animals in general. So it's kind of like a play on words, like we deadly with it.
So now, anybody that knows me knows I'm like a real hip hop head. Like, so I want to know the first thing I always want to know is what made you fall in love with hip hop. I know for me, I would say who made me fall in love with hip hop is gonna be Roxanne Shante. it has to be Roxanne Shante because when I was a little girl, like a little girl, I don't know. I just saw her like I don't know what television show or video music. I don't know what I was watching, but I just saw like this little black girl just going.
Just going at it.
And I was like, I'm gonna be like her.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, and I don't know if that's the moment I fell in love with hip hop, but that was like my first like, yo, like she's dope, she's strong. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, for
and
sure.
at that, after I saw her, I was like, I'm not taking any shit from anybody,
Yeah.
and that's been my whole thing ever since. I don't.
It's
take
like an
no
identity.
I don't take any shit from anybody because I just remember the strength, but I really, I think that's probably the moment I fell in love with hip hop around that time. I would have to say she made me fall in love with hip hop. So now, what artist or what thing or what moment made you fall in love with hip hop?
I'm gonna let Johnny take this question first, and then I'll go off what he says because my interpretation of hip hop kind of coincides with his interpretation of hip hop in a way. So I'll let him go first.
Johnny.
Johnny.
Yo, Johnny.
Probably. So my favorite artist of all time is Tupac, hands down.
Nice.
The realest one ever, man.
Okay.
Super impactful. Had a lot to say, and it really meant something. I think it was very important to culture.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think everything that he did, he was a superstar. He didn't just rap; he did everything.
Yeah, act,
So
everything.
you know, did it all. It was like they study him and everything, like academic and everything.
Yeah, it's true.
So
In
For sure.
question, which got you said that you started off as a punk rock star.
Yep, that's right. Well, not rock star,
star,
but yeah, we chilled.
Genre,
You know,
yeah.
So I guess to go back, so as far as hip hop goes in like my descent into punk and stuff like that, and this actually is a story that kind of goes like full circle. The first time I would say I was influenced by hip hop and punk rock at the same time. So I'm only 27 years old, right?
I know what you're gonna say, but go ahead.
You know what I'm talking
Yes,
about?
go.
So when I used to play video games back in the day, I used to play this video game called Tony Hawk Underground.
Oh.
And they used to
Classic.
have the illest soundtrack, and people know this, you know what I mean? They had Nas, and they also had Kiss, and they also had like, the Flogging Molly. They had like all these punk rock, like the Misfits, the Dead Kennedys, but then they also had hip hop, like Lords of the Underground and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So just all this dope amalgamation of shit, like raw, what was it, ska music and stuff like that
Yeah.
as well. Like, so when I was real young, I would listen to these things, and I'm playing the video game. I'm playing. I'm sucked in. I wouldn't think about it. It was just kind of like embedded in me. And my pops, he used to like rock and roll. He used to like, his favorite band is Led Zeppelin.
Okay.
And my mom, she used to like really random stuff like Backstreet Boys and No Doubt, which was like a ska band,
yeah,
right?
It goes into ska, yeah.
So they used to like kind of weird eclectic music that didn't really coincide. They didn't even really agree on what music they liked together. They would just listen to it separately. So
Yeah.
anytime I was in the car with them and stuff, it was something different. So I would listen to hip hop and stuff and punk rock a lot when I was a young kid, like just like elementary school type stuff. But then when I got to be, and then I really loved hip hop like back then. But then when it got to be, like around like 2007, 8, like 9-ish, I stopped liking hip hop as much because it was like the ringtone era, and it was like Soulja Boy, and it was like Lil Jon. It was like people who, in retrospect, kind of dope in certain ways. But at the time, I thought hip hop had turned into that. I thought it had gone from this thing that was like really thought provoking and really like, I don't know, like really something that meant something into something that was just made from money and just
Commercial.
capitalism. And I was just kind of like, even as a kid, I was like, I don't fuck with that. And so then I reverted back to that punk rock shit where I was like, fuck the system, fuck money, fuck all this bullshit. I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna like take a swing at the world.
Did you ever get into Rage Against the Machine? I just love Rage Against the Machine.
Yes.
I used to love Rage Against the Machine, but
Yo.
yeah.
No, Rage Against the Machine
Yeah,
smacks.
with Zach. What was the lead singer's name? Zach. Anyways, they broke up. But anyways, carry on.
No, Rage Against the Machine is super fire, and I really fuck with shit like that. Like, there was a couple times where I would like kind of mess with like some of that like rap rock type stuff, but I think Rage is probably one of the ones that I still to
Yeah.
this day fuck
I
with.
like
But
Rage Against the Machine.
yeah.
And Johnny, were you into punk rock as well, or did you go straight into hip hop?
No. I was very much into hip hop for sure.
He didn't like punk rock. But we
no.
did go to the shows, though. I mean, he would come to the shows and stuff and, like, you know, chill in the scene and stuff like that. Like, we have a couple homies that are still doing punk rock and hardcore stuff, and they're actually, like, really moving and doing it and, like, going on world tours and stuff. So, like, it's been a crazy journey, but, yeah.
Is that how you guys met? How'd you guys meet?
When we met,
Johnny's too cool for me. You too
He's
cool.
slick.
He's cool. He's too cool. I'm watching you, Johnny.
tell him how we met. Tell him how we met. You know what it is.
Nah, I think I moved to the same town that this man lives in. That's how I met him. We were just in the same school, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Huh?
When was that? Like high school?
I was like 8th grade.
8th grade?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we've been
some childhood friends over here.
We've been friends for a long time. So
Exactly. So like when I was growing up, I had like a core kind of group of friends, and it kind of like splintered off a little bit. But at one point, when it really splintered off, that was about the time that like Johnny came around. He came around about 8th grade, and he had like 2 older brothers, so they were in high school and stuff too. So we would be chilling with a lot of different people. At first, I didn't like Johnny. At first, I thought he was hitting on my girlfriend.
Okay.
But he wasn't, and he actually ended up telling me like, "Yo, like, you should stay away from this girl. Like, it doesn't look right." And I was like, kind of like a little naive because we were young. I was like 13, 14.
Johnny's like an introspective kind of guy. Always the quiet ones are always like kind of like taking it all in. Like yeah, I like to, I'm not flirting with you, Johnny. I'm just saying I like when people.
it's all right if you are.
Johnny was like, I know we're in 8th grade, but you girls trying to throw it back at me.
No. The introspective ones when he was telling you, she's probably not, because he's probably taking stuff in on a different level. But yeah.
Oh wait, and actually now that I'm thinking about it, back to the hip hop stuff, right? So there was a time where I didn't really like hip hop, where it was like I thought it was all just about like random shit and like MTV Cribs and all this shit. But then Johnny, he used to come to my house, and he used to have this notebook. And I was a writer, and I still am a writer, but I used to write different kinds of songs. But he used to have this notebook, and he had these cheap headphones, and he used to just put his headphones in, and I would just sit on the computer and do some stuff, and he would just sit there like in a ball, and he would just write. And I'd be like, "What you writing? Writing?" He's like, "I'm writing raps. Hold on."
Yeah.
So he would just go, and he would go and go and go, and I'd be like, "Who do you listen to?" At the time, it was like Eminem. It was like it was Tupac. It was like young J. Cole and stuff like that.
Okay.
So at first, I was kind of like, I know what Eminem is. I'm not a big fan. And then I was kind of like, there was like a Hobson era and stuff. I was like, I'm not a big fan of that.
I did that.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm not a big fan. But then J. Cole came around about, what I started listening to him probably about 2010, 11. And he was saying shit that was just like on some like, first and foremost, his voice was so good. I was just like,
I feel like he also like bridged a huge gap for people.
And you know what's funny? I don't know if you've ever seen Dave Chappelle's Block Party.
yes.
If you look in the
He's
audience,
a fan
you'll
in the
see,
audience.
You
see
see
J.
it.
Cole.
You saw him too.
That's how big of a
crazy.
J.
I
Cole
didn't know
fan
that.
he was.
Lauryn
by
Hill
the way.
and Mos Def and Talib,
Yeah.
like Black
yeah.
Star,
Yeah.
Kanye.
But J. Cole was
In the
if you
crowd.
watch
Yeah, he's
it,
chilling.
Yeah,
You
you
see
see
him in the crowd.
Because he went to
For
Clark. He went to Clark University, which is in New York, which is where they shot that. So he went on this.
Clark
hell yeah.
Clark is in Georgia, right? Well, anyways, he was in
St.
he
John's.
was in the crowd.
St. John's, that's right. Yeah, Clark. Yeah, I'm mixing them up.
But
You're
he
right.
was there. So, but it's interesting. It's funny. Because with artists, because I'm an artist as well.
Absolutely.
So it's kind of like when you're so driven, like I get so inspired by things. I'll see something and I'll be like, oh my God, I gotta go to this. I gotta go to this. It's like if an artist inspires me or something, an event inspires me, I'm just gonna go.
Yeah.
And I'll tell people, you want to go? And I'm like, if nobody wants to go along with me, then Cadelia's gonna be a one-man show or one-woman show, and I'm out. Yeah. And so when I saw him in the audience, I know what that is. He's like, I need to be in the mix because this is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
I need to be in the mix. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
for
so
sure.
because I don't know how to explain it, but it keeps you inspired. And then look at it, and then like fast forward like 2 years later, 3 years later, like he was that dude.
For sure.
You
Yeah,
know?
he evolved like immediately.
But I'm always like, you have to get whatever you're doing, whether it's hip hop, whether it's podcasting, whether it's modeling, whatever it is, you got to get into that. You got to get in that mix.
Yeah.
And you got to be willing to get in that mix, even if you got to go by yourself. You know what I mean?
For sure. I almost came here by myself.
Yeah, no, but this is the
I'm
thing.
glad
Like,
Johnny
if you're an artist and you're driven and that's what you're inspired to do, you don't have time to be afraid and be like, oh, I got to bring 2 of my friends with me. Oh, I got to bring 4.
You just got to go.
You just got to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the world opens up to you. So when I saw him in the audience, and then, a couple of years later, I saw him being this big artist, I said that was what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, I'm just
He's
going.
really in the pursuit of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Trying to feel it all.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's why it's hard to be an artist, though, these days. Everybody's an artist.
Right.
Yeah, everybody's an artist.
Like, everybody's a fucking critic.
I went to work in a factory. Not everybody's an artist, man. There's a bunch of people that are like.
No, but you know what I mean. You got to throw the quotations on it. You know what I'm saying?
That's for damn sure.
So what do you think a real artist consists of?
A real, just like
What qualities?
genuine, just being genuine.
Yeah.
Not trying to look for like the algorithm. Like when people try to break it down to like being like this like thing that's gonna get this
The money.
or that, it's not about that. It's about getting out what's really there and like
telling the
trying to
truth.
like
Yeah.
trying to really feel. Because I feel like the direction the world's going in, we're becoming more and more desensitized, and it's like it's hard to feel things. But like when things are like provoking you, like in an intellectual way, in an emotional way, there's like something there that is very rare.
So let me ask you guys this. When did you guys start really defining yourselves as artists? Because you guys said you guys were doing this since... When did you go to your house and that story you was writing stuff down? Was that 9th grade, 10th grade?
That was about 10th, 11th grade. So, yeah.
You were just getting into it, but did you really consider yourself an artist? When did you just say, like, I know I'm an artist. This is what I am.
So at that time... excuse me. At that time, I was doing different kinds of stuff. Like I was making punk rock, and I was writing poetry, and I was just things like that. Like, and I continue to do those things. And I would consider myself an artist at that time, and I think he would as well. That was when it really started, where I could take a look around, and I could look at my peers, and I always had this thing. And sometimes it gets me in trouble where I just fucking hate fakers, man. I fucking
No, you should hate fakers.
And I call fakers out. And I call them out.
I hate
And they get mad at me. And I'm like, yo,
I
you're
get it,
sorry,
I
but
dig
you're
it,
a
I get it,
faking
I
ass
dig it.
motherfucker.
Oh, please don't get me started.
You feel what I'm
But you're
saying?
supposed to fake it
Right
till you
now
make
that-
it. You're supposed to-
No. If you
My
fake
homie
it, you
says
ain't
fake
making
it
it
till you become
anywhere.
it. I'm like, that's the same thing.
No, that's no, that's not true. I don't like that fake it till you make it
For
thing.
sure.
People
No.
come up with these stupid sayings, and there's another saying I hate too. And see people say, "Oh, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery." I'm like, that's not flattery. That means if you're
don't know.
imitating someone, that
kinda
means
like
you
these art
don't know
quotes.
who
Done
you
well.
are.
Now there's truth
Yeah.
to some of these things. There is.
I don't
Yeah.
believe
But
that
it's like
saying.
you just got to deal with the reality when you're there. That's like
yeah.
the thing. Like it's easy to see it from the outside perspective of being like, well, fuck that. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. But like when you're in it and you realize like it's like anything. It's like if you're cheating on your girl and she don't know, you know,
Yeah.
and
She
that's
knows.
the thing that hurts. Is like fuck.
Oh, John.
How long can that go on before you break and you have to fucking leave, or you tell the truth?
Yeah,
and then
that's
you
true.
get
It
booted?
catches up.
So it's like when people say fake it till you make it, they faked it, they made it, and then they're like, well, fuck, now I'm stuck with it. You know what I'm
literally.
saying?
That's a good
Like,
quote.
But
a
then you're
lot
stuck
of-
in the fakeness.
that's exactly.
you're stuck being
but
fake.
that's
That's
exactly.
what
And
these
you know what
people
that
do.
leads to? Shout out to Jim Carrey because he's genius.
Shouts
That
to
leads to
Jim Carrey.
depression.
No, but
Yeah,
that's
Because
what,
he said, sorry, what were you gonna say?
no, you're right. Go ahead.
Because he
I'm
was
sorry.
saying all depression is you suppressing the real you.
Well,
You know?
what did he say? It was like a play on words. He was like, depressed means deep rest.
Yeah, you
Yeah. So it's like supposed to be like some like real intellectual shit, and it's like him trying to like be introspective, and that's true, But at the end of the day, it is really one of those things that do get overlooked. But that's only because everybody clings to it. Everybody says this. Everybody says that, and that's what I'm talking about. Like, and as far as like people in this time that we live in, it's all about trying to have a crutch to excuse you from being like,
It's all about a look. I think
Yeah.
the social media generation has kind of given people literally a platform to try to show themselves in a way that is kind of like they used to say, "Don't judge a book by the cover," right?
Yeah.
But now it's all about the cover.
Yeah.
Now
It's
it's
all
not
about
much of the book to read.
That is
literally.
true.
You know what I mean?
And it's
Which
all
we
about
know.
I mean, it's just and back to that Jim Carrey thing. I seen a quote he said today about that same thing you were talking about, and he said basically like a lot of people get depressed because they think to themselves, "Who am I?"
Yeah.
And then they think, "Oh, I'll just try to be something."
Y'all just try to be something.
But-
Try it. Yeah.
But trying to be something isn't being.
Being yourself.
It's trying.
It's trying.
It's
But
like that
that's why
comment.
we're like, fake it till you make it. You're stuck with it.
You're gonna
Yeah.
be stuck with the fake. I don't know about y'all, but I like making mistakes.
Yeah.
Like my tag, like, cause I'm an author too. In my tag, my books, I write the imperfectionist, and people will be like, "Why do you write the imperfectionist?" And I'm like, because like that's who I am. Like I don't like being perfect. I like making mistakes. And I
Imperfection
really
is
don't
beauty.
apologize too much. Like if I mess up, I'll apologize. I'll say sorry. But I'm not gonna keep on apologizing for being human. I'm like, I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna make another one, and I'm gonna make another one. And it, and I like that, about myself. I like the fact that I leave myself open for not caring about what other people think.
Well, so
because
most of the most admired people in the world are the most flawed.
exactly,
true.
and that's beautiful, and that's what
Yeah.
makes them beautiful.
Yeah.
So I like.
You know why
having
though? It's
flaws.
because it's real.
right.
And there's truth
And a
and
lot of
vulnerability.
people want to be able to be vulnerable in that
Yeah.
way because they want to be themselves, but
Right.
they can't be.
Right.
So that's why we admire it so much.
Like I dig being like a weird,
Yeah. Yeah. That's what a real. Yeah.
Since we're talking about Jim Carrey, Carrey one time was like, when he was like super depressed, he met with like one of his directors, and the director said to him, "Don't get better. This is perfect for my film."
Oh
Are
no.
you serious?
Now, have you ever used, I don't know if you guys have ever been depressed or you guys been in a certain
day.
emotion and you guys use that as fuel for your art? Have you guys ever done
Yes. Yeah. Well, so yes, I have, but also I don't believe that you have to be the starving artist.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
there's an old short story, not to get too meta on this, but there's an old short story by Franz Kafka if you ever want to read that. It's called the
Oh,
Who? It's called The Hunger Artist. It's called The Hunger Artist. And this guy is basically a carnival attraction. And his skill is that he never eats.
Huh.
And basically the whole thing is like people walk up and they see him brittle and fragile and they give him a quarter or whatever. But then eventually people just stop coming. And then one day he just withers and he just dies.
Oh.
And it just stops. And like that, not to get depressing, but
No,
Franz Kafka is like a surrealist, writer, and like a lot of his points that he makes are really just on the nose.
So now I have to ask you this, okay? So please tell me, and I'm going somewhere with this.
Yes.
So we're talking about the writing, everything. Please tell me, have you been watching the new season of Atlanta?
Oh my God, I haven't caught up. I saw the third season. I haven't caught up. I saw the third season. I saw the third season.
I don't watch it.
His writing is like,
Dude,
what is
he's
going
amazing.
on? I don't know where he's leading us.
He's
Donald Glover, where are you leading us?
he described Atlanta one time as the Black Twin Peaks. And if y'all have never
Yeah.
seen Twin Peaks,
Yeah.
David Lynch, that motherfucker's weird. He's a weirdo, but I love it
No, but
so
it's a
much.
genius mind.
Yeah.
Because it's like I'm watching Atlanta. You gotta start watching
watching
Atlanta.
It's so
Put it
good.
on my
It's so
watch.
good.
Because
It's the final season.
this is the last
It's
season,
the final
right?
season.
So I'm trying to.
It's a perfect time to get into it because it's
Right,
actually
yeah,
you went to it
binge
too?
No.
I'm
But
trying
that's
to
why,
find
because
where-
it's a
I'm
perfect
trying
time to watch it, right? Because
I'm
it's
trying to
already
figure out
almost
where
done.
he's
So
going with this because I love, and this falls into hip hop because he's Childish Gambino as well, and he's a dope hip hop artist. Like, don't sleep on Donald Glover and don't sleep on / Childish Gambino. But like, I'm trying to figure out where he's taking us.
You know what's crazy? David Lynch, right, who he's inspired from, like the Black Twin Peaks, he's saying that. David Lynch is an existentialist. So he speaks about how the truth of life is the unknown. It's what you don't know.
It's true.
And a lot of people ask him, "Hey, what's your movie about? What's your TV show about?" And he says, "What do you think it's about?" And then the person says, "Well, I want to know what you think." And he says, but that defeats the purpose
Yeah.
because it's not about what I think. It's about what you
Your
think about it.
interpretation, Yeah.
It's different for everybody, and that's what his art is.
It's the hidden mirror, right?
Yeah, and that's what Donald Glover does.
Yeah.
He understands that if he just says, "Oh, I made this weird episode about this
Yeah.
because of this," it ruins it because it takes the unknown away. It shines light through the dark, which is in some cases a bad thing because then you see what maybe you didn't want to see.
Because
Like,
Teddy Perkins, that episode still has me. I'm still trying
That's
to figure out
creepy.
what's happening.
yeah, I
Shout
wonder
out
if it's
to
still him.
man. I don't know.
Yeah.
But shout out to anybody who's not watching. I'm sorry.
You ruined it. I'm just playing.
That's a great show for real.
If we were getting into, because that's about storytelling, and you were talking about the art of how they storytell.
Yeah.
And I know you even have a song called like Storyteller.
Yep. Shouts out to Outkast as well, the art of storytelling.
Oh hell yeah.
That J. Cole beat that he flipped that ended up being Land of the Snakes. That's like one of my favorite J. Cole songs. That might be the song that got me to want to be a hip hop artist, Land of the Snakes, which is flipped from the original song, The Art of Storytelling by Outkast.
So how did you get into storytelling? Because you started with poetry, but what were you talking about when you first started with poetry?
I was sad about, heartache and all this stuff like that, like just things that like,
Talking about his girl.
yeah,
Started
literally,
writing poems
yeah.
about it.
Just things that, you're just like, damn, I can't hold all this in. Just like being a
It
fucking
was teenage angst,
young
man.
kid,
It was,
yeah, exactly.
I kind of want the full story of this musical upbringing because you started off with poetry. Is that correct?
Well, I started off with like wanting to make like kind of rocky kind of music, just like regular rocky, like Black Sabbath, like Led Zeppelin type stuff.
So you started off
Green
producing?
Day. No, I started off as a guitarist and a singer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, not that I knew anything. I just tried.
You tried it.
But then I learned, and now I can play guitar and sing okay. So
I was listening to, I like the melodic vibes you had.
thank you. I try not to use too much auto tune. I try to really sing it, and then just like if something's wrong, I'll make it better. But yeah, but I try not to I try not to do too much auto tune because I really want it to like sound like one of my most biggest inspirations is Billie Holiday.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
And she wasn't using no fucking auto tune. So
Right.
and she just and she was like a dope head and shit. Like she had all she was like ruining her vocal cords.
Jesus.
No. I the only reason I say that is because you can hear it at the end of her
Right.
vocal
Yeah,
like
you can hear
performance.
it, yeah.
Like her life. So when her life starts to like peter out, you can hear it
You
in
can
her
hear it,
music,
yeah.
and it's so sad, but it's so beautiful. Like the imperfection of that, like
Yeah,
you
the
said earlier,
imperfections.
it's so beautiful. Like yeah.
So now, who's your favorite hip hop group? Or
favorite-
your favorite hip hop group. I was like on a big like Souls of Mischief thing, but now I'm like back on WuTang because I just saw them in concert.
Ooh,
Recently?
nasty.
Hell yeah.
And they
love
were
Wu-Tang.
so like.
You
so
seen that
I'm-
documentary too? The WuTang one on Hulu.
I did see the
pretty
documentary.
good.
Shout out to Mass Appeal.
Yes.
Anyway, so no, but I saw Wu-Tang in concert like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It was Wu-Tang, Nas, Busta Rhymes came out.
That the New York State of Mind
Yeah,
tour?
I went to the
that's
New York City
crazy.
Mind tour.
Ooh,
This,
that's a
let me tell
crazy
you
tour.
something. When I tell you to watch these dudes still doing their thing in their late 40s and 50s, the breath control, the crowd control, the stamina, I have a whole new.
To these guys though, it's like shooting a free throw.
But I
You know,
never.
It's true.
It's
I've
literally
been
like
to a
that.
lot of shows, but like I have a whole new respect for all of them as
They're the
artists now.
We're talking about the pie.
I used to watch wrestling as a kid. Still do.
Nice.
I love wrestling. AEW, yo, I mean, CM Punk gotta go, but I don't know. You know what I mean? He's causing too much drama. But like, and
Hi, Shane.
that game too, AEW forever, whatever that game's about to be, that's about to be fire. But when I was a young kid, I used to have like wrestling action figures, and I would watch wrestling. I wanted to be a wrestler, and I would just kind of like do the thing, I'd be like, oh, he puts them through the table, and I would set up a camera. And I'd be like, oh, this is so sick. And I would just go in my room and just watch it like it was an episode. And when I was in like punk bands and stuff, we never shot a video. Never. Not once. For years and years, almost nobody I know shot a video. But I always loved it because when I first really got into like music the way I did, Green Day, who's a punk band.
Yeah.
Their old videos in the 90s used to make me like, what the fuck is this? Like, this is fucking crazy. So I always wanted to direct videos, and I always wanted to direct films. And I went to school, and I went to school for like something similar to directing, basically. Like, they didn't have like directing at the whatever, like,
Like
film
communications or
mass comm, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And creative writing. So like I tried to
nice.
like, mix those two together. So I would make films, short films, I would write films, and I would just direct things and do photography so I could learn how to use the camera. And then I
Nice.
eventually started to do audio equipment too, and then I started to produce my own beats.
So you got into film because you were asking me about what camera am I using. So you know your cameras, obviously.
Yeah.
So you became a like videographer, filmographer, cinematographer.
Yeah.
And then you got into beats, like what you just downloaded Logic, you just downloaded Ableton.
I downloaded FL Studios off the rip. We used to have Audacity, but I didn't use it.
Throwback.
He used to
use-
use. He used to
The
record
throwback.
Audacity on my laptop, and it broke my fucking
If
laptop.
nothing else in the 2000s screamed 90s at you, Audacity.
Audacity.
Because it was free.
Yeah,
So
for
like,
sure.
so we used to use that, but I just like I didn't really use that. Like I watched him use it, but then I was like one day when I was out of college and stuff. Like I've only been making beats for 4 years now.
Okay.
So all the stuff you've heard,
Very
it's like
talented,
very
for sure.
very very young. So I used to just play a lot of songs in the car and just like kind of make playlists. And he'd be like, bro, make me beats. Because he used to rap, and Stevie Cash used to rap way before me. And they'd be like, bro, make me beats. You've already written all these songs, like punk songs and shit. You know how to compose. Make me beats. And one day I was like, you know what? Fuck it. And I went out. I took a little loan. I fucking, like I had to fucking do some shit. And I fucking bought a fucking a computer. I got FL Studios because you could just pay for it once. And I just started downloading songs. And then I went out and I bought like a vinyl player, and I started like sampling records. And a lot of the reason I don't put a lot of my stuff out on Spotify and Apple Music and stuff like that is because it's sampled.
Right.
And I don't got the clearances for it,
Right.
but I'm not going to compromise my art just because I can't make money off it. So I'm like, fuck it, man. This is what I make. This is how it's supposed to sound. I'm going to let y'all have it for free, and I'm going to keep it pushing.
So who's your favorite?
Doing what Lil
So
Wayne did.
who's your favorite producer? Like, who's your favorite producer? It doesn't even have to be
That's
a hip hop
hard.
producer. It could be any producer. Who's like your favorite producer / songwriter /
My favorite...
I'm going Flying Lotus. I love him.
Yo, Flying Lotus is nasty. My favorite producer, as far as just the sonics goes, it have to be like some sort of a tie between like Knowledge, Primo, and what's like one more that just nasty. Hold on. Dilla's nasty too.
Okay.
Dilla's definitely nasty. He's up there. No. Kanye. Kanye's my third.
Kanye, okay.
Kanye's my
Good,
third.
yeah.
Because he just does too much
Uh-huh.
that I'm just like
Kanye.
yes.
Kanye.
I'm gonna go.
mixes it all.
I'm gonna go Pete. I'm gonna go Pete Rock.
Pete Rock. He's up there.
I
He's top
met
five.
him.
What?
Crazy in a
nice.
fish market in the Bronx of all
What?
places. We were just buying food, and he was in the fish market. I swear to you, it was crazy. It was just so random. He was just we were in the
Yo.
Bronx,
Strangling a fish.
and he was
Bro,
no, he was
yeah.
just getting his food. He,
Fish in a headlock.
he was buying his food from the fish market, and I happened to be at the same store getting some food, and I saw him, and I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And we just started talking. I got the picture to prove it. But anyway,
Hell yeah.
so Pete Rock. Oddly enough, I'm gonna go with Rottweiler. He's slept on a lot. I met him too, which is crazy.
That's fire.
Rottweiler and who else? You know who
Mad
gets
Lib.
slept on? Like, I don't think he gets slept on, but a lot of people don't really understand like how dope of a producer he is.
Who?
Lord Jamar.
Oh,
Lord Jamar's
He did I think he did Dead Prez' whole first album.
Yo, he works with Statik Selectah right now. And by the way, shout out to Statik Selectah.
Lord
He's from
Jamar.
fucking Essex, Mass.
Lord Jamar.
Oh, hell yeah.
He's
he
like
gets slept
so
on.
nasty.
So he's
Lord
working.
Jamar.
Yeah.
Mad
So,
Lib.
yeah.
Who's that cat? I know 88 Keys produced probably my favorite song ever, favorite beat ever, which is Thieves in the Night by Black Star. That's my favorite beat. It's so clean. But then there's that other motherfucker who produced all the Black Star shit. Who is it? What's his fucking name? I'm going to be so pissed
Black
off
Star.
I don't remember his name.
Did Q-Tip do any of their stuff?
I think he...
Q-Tip?
No. It was, damn, he was on Rhythm Roulette and everything. Fuck, I can't remember his name, but I'm gonna be pissed off at myself, but he makes nasty beats.
I think today was like the anniversary of Black Star's first album. It was all over Twitter. Yeah, I think so.
That's kind of crazy.
Yo, and that new album that they just made, No Fear of Time. Mos Def is, just for the record, probably my favorite spitter as far as like his swing and his swing is like that shit where he's rapping in the fucking in Central Park.
Oh,
where he's just like da 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 da. Oh my god, that shit just make me crazy. Like, and everybody's around him. They're just like, oh my fucking god, I never heard this shit. Like, it's like 97. Like, he has like a backpack, like a solid backpack on. Damn, I'm still trying to remember who the fuck produced the Black Star song.
Well, I have two questions. Because I was listening to your music and you have like a real lo-fi vibe.
Alchemist, yeah, that's another one.
Yeah.
Now they're all coming.
Alchemist.
Wait a minute. Yeah. Wait. Are we off the producer?
High tech.
High tech. Who's yours though?
wait.
So you gotta like, dude, come on, like you gotta like, you got no love for Boy Wonder?
Yes,
Boy
Boy Wonder's fire.
For what's
he's a modern
Ninth
like
Wonder. What about Ninth Wonder?
Ninth Wonder. Yes,
like,
he's obviously one of the ghosts. Like, yes,
That's
Ninth
like
Wonder.
one of the
Yes,
best,
some of
bro.
the best drums of all time, straight up. Statik Selectah as well, like
Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre.
Yeah,
Wow.
Dre's fire. Dre's fire. I don't make music
But if
like
you
him,
say
but
Dr. Dre, then you got to shout out DOC.
yeah, of course, yeah.
Well, no one's talking about DOC.
Yo, yo,
That's very
yeah.
short.
I mean, there's so many people that just like, I mean, shouts out to hip hop, man.
Yeah.
Straight up, shouts
We're
out
not
to
even gonna talk about the RZA either.
everybody.
yeah.
Bro.
Come on now.
Banging tape
Sorry
decks,
about
bro.
that. Yeah,
Bro.
sorry about that.
Just
Yeah,
talk about that
RZA.
fucking
many
goddamn,
people,
and,
bro.
You know, we were just
Yeah.
talking about WuTang and
Oh
everything.
my God.
Like, it's always hard on the spot, but it's like once
that?
the star's coming, it's just
Who's
like
that fat white dude? Always reminds me of Louis C.K. I forget his name, but he did 99 Problems. For Jay.
Rick Rubin, dog.
Rick Rubin,
Yo,
yeah.
nasty. Why?
Favorite
Shout out to
Louis
Beastie
CK.
Boys. Beastie Boys, too.
Yeah.
People sleep
Oh,
on
can't
Beastie
forget
Beastie
about
Boys.
were at first a punk band. I mean,
So wait.
there's a lot of knowledge to go around,
I
man.
love these questions you guys are
Me
asking.
too.
You
Thank you
have
guys so
great-ass
much.
questions.
Yeah, thank you guys for having us. Show and tell, man. Shouts to Show and Tell.
Hey.
Shouts to Roxbury, man. Man, you know what it is, man. Come on, baby. Come on, man.
This
Come on,
other
man.
question though is dead or alive. Who's an artist that you would love to that you would most want to collaborate with?
Dead or alive?
You go first, and I'm gonna think of
Now
mine.
you go first.
Someone else
Dead?
go first.
I'm literally just here because of you.
That's
So
a
you
good
gotta,
if it was an artist dead and probably like whatever, like dead or alive,
You
like
can do dead and alive.
yeah, I'll do dead and alive. But first and foremost, if I wish he was alive, Jimi Hendrix, bro. Like that dude, he's the definition of a person who, like, he is an instrument. Like
Yeah.
he like lets the wind pass through him. Like, do y'all know that he taught himself guitar? He didn't know how to play guitar.
I heard that.
With one string. And also, he played a lefty guitar, but a lot of the times nobody played lefty, so he would just take a righty guitar and flip it and then play it upside
That's
down.
dope, yeah.
Because he was like, fuck it, I'll just do whatever I want.
Some fucking beast.
Yo!
Yeah, his mind's working
So,
different.
yes, like, I would say Jimi Hendrix, like, for dead, and then for alive, if I could, if I could get in the room with anybody right now, I would say it would have to be like Hove.
Okay.
But only because no, it wouldn't be Hove. It'd be Cole.
J. Cole?
Just because Hove knows a lot and he knows he's been through a lot of shit. But Cole seems like he would be like our homie. Like he seems like he'd be a
he
dude
seems
who-
approachable.
Yeah.
Like he
he'd
could
be-
be, you could.
Like if we could
yeah.
convince him to smoke a blunt,
honestly,
he'd be like
I'd
chill us.
probably be afraid to meet him.
I would not.
You be afraid?
He's one of my he's like my favorite artist alive.
Nah,
did
you
you see-
just
I respect
walk up
him.
to him and just
I
say,
respect
"What's
him.
that?"
I respect him
That's
so
all.
much.
Did you see that meme? Would you take $5,000 or a dinner with J. Cole? Which one would you guys take?
The dinner.
5,000.
And
Dinner?
yeah, the dinner.
The only reason why is because like I wouldn't want to burden him with the dinner with me. You know what I'm saying?
he
Like
could learn something
Well, he had
from
to
you,
pay you
same way you could learn from
$5,000.
him.
$5,000 I put away or throw it into the music, and I'm already gonna make it. So I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna meet him anyway. So it's
Reinvest
like,
and then,
you know.
So
and then
now
just
I
pay for
want
a
to know
feature.
what's your answer?
Oh, I take the $5,000.
Since Mr. Question
Yeah.
Man, Mr. Question Man,
Yeah, I took
No,
the
but-
$5,000.
but dead or alive, dead or alive.
Who's your favorite? Who's your artist that you would want to collaborate with, dead or alive?
I'm not even. I don't make music.
But I gotta ask you,
Well,
Like
no, just
anything,
any
like
guy.
a filmmaker, or a writer, or somebody who you just want to.
Sometimes it's fun to put the Question Man on the spot.
Yeah.
No, I can't even think of anybody. Give me some options.
Hunter S. Thompson.
Hunter S. Thompson?
You know who that is? Gonzo.
Oh, for real?
Like Leaving Las Vegas. The guy who wrote that, who's like a fucking psycho.
Yeah.
Yeah. He also was like a super prophetic writer.
Rolling Stones writer.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hunter S. Thompson.
Yeah.
Gonzo journalism. He created his own journalism.
I would love to meet a psychotic writer, like movie screenwriter.
Oh, what's his name? Stephen. What's his name? Stephen King.
Oh, Stephen King.
He's dead?
No, he's alive.
He's alive.
Yeah, well, I love to. I'll probably
like
instead of
Edgar
$5,000,
Allan Poe or
I'll
some
take a
shit.
dinner.
Oh, I
Okay.
would love to meet Edgar Allan Poe just to see how weird and sad he is.
Okay.
Just to be like, yo, what's wrong? Like, it's okay. Like, I know your 14-year-old wife died, but it's okay. Like, you're gonna be all right.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
You're gonna make beautiful things from that.
Wait, what was the original question?
I'm not,
My 14-year-old wife.
no.
History facts for
No,
your
no,
ass.
that in
the
there,
question
then
was
split it out.
you
I mean,
asked.
I said
he asked-
dead or alive.
And now she was his cousin, by the way. Too. Sorry.
That's true.
That's
Go
fucked
ahead,
up.
go
Sorry.
ahead, Tata. You
Hold on,
asked-
See, I instinctually thought because it's old, I was like, there's some inbreeding there.
Oh,
Sorry.
You ever notice that
sorry.
like some ancient shit always leads up
He's
to
also from
inbreeding?
Boston.
I'm always like, that's fucked up. But like, no. So wait, what was the question?
Dead or alive? Oh, I guess we're doing dead and alive. Who's the artist that you like to collaborate with?
So dead is Tupac, easy,
Oh, yeah.
easy money.
for sure.
He probably, if he was like dead and then like summoned, and like he could tell me some dope shit, I'd be like, yo, I got you. That's what I would do. Alive would easily be J. Cole, easy. Just cause like he could probably put you on to some shit. I mean, but if it was like one of those things where he was like, I don't want to do it, and like there was someone else, I would definitely be Jay-Z right after that, and only because Jay-Z is like the man.
Hell yeah.
He is for sure.
True.
So now, what's your favorite hip? I'm gonna ask you this because this is you are a hip hop artist, so I'm gonna keep it hip hop. What is your favorite hip hop themed movie?
Hip hop themed movie?
Like
with a hip hop like
okay,
artist in
like
it,
the
or
90s we had like you had
Kid
like
and Play,
a,
like
you had
House Party.
That was
Yeah.
good.
you had
Yeah.
Menace to Society, you had
Juice.
Belly.
What was that
Juice.
car wash
Juice.
Oh,
movie?
Belly.
Belly?
Mine is Belly.
Belly's
Mine has to be
awesome.
Belly.
Oh, Belly, bro.
Belly, yeah.
DMX and Nas, that was. Can't somehow tap into meeting Pac. I'm getting DMX now.
You get
DMX.
Oh,
you get a
DMX.
wild fucking ride with DMX.
Yeah.
Bro. I want to. No shit. I want to meet DMX on a bender,
You
and that's
met
all
DMX
due
working.
respect, straight up.
Yeah, yeah.
served
Oh wait,
DMX,
I
yeah.
did meet DMX.
You
I
did?
I
Did you?
totally,
Where'd you meet him?
I was but it was kind of
He was a waiter.
sad and short, but like
Uh-huh.
yeah, I was a
DMX.
waiter one time.
They didn't have
and
Henny,
he
so they
was
asked for
like
Cavassier.
he was getting out of like rehab or something with his homie who was also I think in rehab, and they asked me for Henny, and it was a Mexican joint, so we had Cavassier, and he was like, okay, whatever, fine. So I gave it to him. I left or whatever. He didn't drink none of it. He was about to leave, and I was like, hey, I'm so sorry about this, but can I get a photo? And he was just like, yeah, whatever, it's no big deal. So I was like, okay, cool. So we got a photo, and yeah, R.I.P. to DMX.
I'm gonna say my favorite hip hop theme. My
For
favorite
real.
hip hop theme movie is gonna be Juice.
Yeah, Juice is just
It's gonna be
so
Juice.
nasty.
Come on, man. That's like
It's
one
gonna
of
be
the
Juice.
best.
Oh,
One
man.
of the
Still
best.
like Belly.
I like Belly, but
Who's the
I'm gonna go
director again?
Juice.
He's a legend.
Oh, Hype Williams.
Hype Williams.
That's
Yeah,
just
but come on,
fire.
what
But
type
I'm
of
still
Juice?
gonna go with Juice.
Yeah, Hype Williams just got that
But-
like that
but, like,
eye for shit.
But Tupac
Dude,
is
that
a better
blue-
actor than all of them. So it's like
That's true.
Tupac was
You know.
well, he was an actor before he was like a rapper.
That's
he
true.
was like in the School of Arts in Baltimore.
That's true.
Yeah.
With Jada Pinkett Smith.
That's right.
So was
Yeah.
Joey Bad.
Shout out to him not getting his life ruined by her. But
Yeah, for
Yo,
sure. Well, we
big
don't know
facts.
now, but you know, anything could happen.
Shout out to Jada Pinkett though, cause
Yeah.
cause you gotta like all jokes aside, like Jada Pinkett was like a huge
She's a phenomenal actress.
in the '90s, early 2000s. She was in a different world.
I fuck with her
She
metal
She was
shit.
doing her thing.
Yeah,
Like
and I fuck with
everybody
Willow's metal
everybody,
shit.
Yeah, everybody
Yeah.
all of this entanglement things, but you got to give Jada Pinkett her props. You got to give Nia Long her props.
Yeah.
Sally Richardson, Regina King.
Hell yeah.
You know,
Maya Angelou.
all the like the ladies that were like hot '90s actresses that are going through all this crap right now. You got to remember that they were the shit. They opened
Hell
the door
yeah.
for a
Still
lot
are.
of
Hell
people.
yeah.
All jokes aside, all
Yeah.
the Nia Long
Just
jokes,
influential black women in general, or just black women in
They
general,
kicked the door
straight
down, and they were doing their thing. They were
Hell
doing
yeah.
it big.
No
So
one's-
shout
no
out to
one's-
Jada.
No one in
Hell
their
yeah.
right mind is mad.
Yeah,
You know
you
what I
can't.
mean?
You can't just
Like,
blame a
come
woman
on,
for
like,
every
if you're
fucking
really-
problem
No,
that
but-
happens.
If you're
they
like
were-
A lot of
really
people-
like
a lot
that
of the
crazy
internet
mad
does that
about some
bullshit. It's
stupid
like,
shit
come on,
like
man.
that, it's like get a life.
But
Like,
people
you know what I
sleep-
mean? Like,
it's their relationship.
People sleep
Fucking.
on.
It's
People sleep
just
on.
funny.
rich.
It's just funny. It's just like,
But
Yeah.
people do sleep
sometimes
on like
you
the
know
stuff
your wife
that
needs
she
a boyfriend.
did.
Yeah.
No, it's okay to make a joke, but like
Yeah.
people who are like that hung up on it, it's
Oh,
like
really
yeah.
upset.
They're
It's
commenting on
like-
all their
Yeah,
things.
no,
I
I'm
was like, I
not
can't do
doing
that.
that.
I'm not
Like
trying
they
to
have
off it.
videos on YouTube based off it. It's like
Yeah, like
all
yeah,
on the
yeah, relax.
YouTube.
you have to have
Managing
a
the
life of your
videos.
own. Like I get it, everybody's like into like the gossip and all this stuff, but like hopefully you're being creative and you're being productive and you're doing what you need to be doing in your life, and you're not caught up so much and wrapped up in with
Celebrity.
people you don't even know what
Yeah.
what they're doing. Like,
Yeah.
you
Shout
know.
out to the
Vanity.
memes, though. I'm sorry. Maybe you guys disagree with me.
The memes
but
go
like
crazy.
you had to be creative to make some of those memes about that situation. It was that
Hell
was an
yeah.
amazing time for.
Memes.
shout
It was
out
for
to the
memes,
30-minute meme guys, like the ones that come out with the meme 30 minutes after.
Oh, literally.
yeah,
just,
yeah.
they had it in the vault.
they had.
Yeah, you mean a lot to society. You're doing us good.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're the new tabloidists.
On that note, we're gonna take a slight break and we'll be right back.
Wow.